about string theory. Discussion with Uxtukulur, Ph.D. in molecular physics. There are too many problems in the strings theory. It's highly complicated mathematical tools which are very graceful. Oh yes, it's very beautiful and convenient to use. Nevertheless, there are no strings at all, but spheroidicity. That is quantum. It is spheroidicity feature of the information flow, which forms an infinite set of the universes. Every world, what I call as world, is the universe. The universe is in its own diapason of creativity, which depends on perception of the observer. And string gives possibility to specialize the fact of inability of infinity perception. We have in mind that there is no string, and I'll always say that the things I speak about don't exist. Some scientists state that the strings are certain quantum sequence in the increments of one quantum. Then they turned out to be something like beads, which resemble our early understanding of chakrams. As a matter of fact, every quantum is the flash of the universe during 1/1000th part of the instant. Or maybe high. I don't know the highest degrees. This is exactly the core of the quantum impact. And what is this impact? What are dynamics per se? This is information. Just a single instant happens, and all information has been translated through the quantum about the structure of both the universes or that universe where we realize ourselves at the moment beyond the time in different forms, and information about those universes which are founders, the prime forms of this universe. We should have clear understanding of these concepts. The string theory gives possibility, taking into account the nuances mentioned, to start manipulating this information somehow. Well, here it is, all information of the universe. So what? And what should we do with this? But when we consider this as some charts, as some draws, then we can describe some interactions in them. Let's suppose a construction worker looks at the design and sees that the door is here. Actually, there is no door out there, but some line with the legend. He still knows that this is the door and something close are windows, although it will be very difficult for an incompetent person to understand what is the difference between this and that, between this and that dashes. The same happens with us when we manipulate the certain scientific terms. They have become the means of strong restriction of our understanding of the surrounding worlds at the moment. Of course we understand. Yes, this is a string. I state that it's stretched out on the level of quantums. And again, this is not correct. When we imagine quantums as beams and stretch them to some kind of infinity, they won't be quantums anymore. No, they'll be material objects already. Yes, generally speaking, the notion should be clearly fixed in the book. We should point out in this regard that the string theory is right only as the schematic expression of some possibilities to convey more complicated information. Yesterday I scrutinized the string theory, and I've got such an association. There is a chess, the game, and there is a real battle. As an example, we can choose a battle in some Middle Ages or 16th century. There are bishops, rooks, pawns in chess. There are infantry, cavalry, artillery in battles. I think that there is some reality which happens, and our scientists have taken some notions out of this reality. They have taken cavalry, bishops, special forces, and so on, and started to play chess. They have started to shift a huge amount of combinations, to contrive more and more. They have contrived a game where the king moves only this way. The bishop moves this way, the knight does strictly this way. This is very similar. It's a good comparison, given that supposedly our conceptions about elementary particles exactly restrict our movements beyond this game. Though there is nothing beyond the rules of this game, this way we do already. Well, sorry about that. Someone has devised in the beginning that the knight should move in an L shape. Then everybody move it this way only. Somebody have told once that it should move this way, and the same refers to the notions of dimensions, by the way. Firstly, all scientists use the conception of the Big Bang now. Everything has started from it. That is, time has been not investigated at all until now. It just moves linearly. The only thing relativity theory shows that the time intervals may change somehow. But in general, the conceptions of scientists about dimension are mathematical exceptionally. That is, they add some variable and state, this is the fourth dimension. Yes, look at the graviton and the appearance of 8 gravitinos. This corresponds to the 10th dimension, supposedly. Who told about that? This was derived by mathematicians purely. This is derived just out of formulas, out of some calculations. But mathematics proceeds from one kind of conceptions, and the life comes from others. Twice 2 not always makes real 4. I should say it happens quite rarely, in very exceptional cases, when some details has been decided in general. And what is meant by twice 2? What is meant by the first 2 and the second 2? What is the sum of the qualities? How do these qualities interact between each other? In some part of qualities of these 2 doesn't interact with one of another 2. Then something expected ideally won't happen. This feature is very important for understanding. When scientists understand it, then huge amount of other ideas virtually may come to those mathematicians, those physicists who make quantum modification research of all kinds.